Driver responsible for yesterday's multi-vehicle pile-up in Umhlanga just outside Durban is in police custody. The driver is believed to have lost control and smashed into slow-moving traffic near the M4 freeway on-ramp. There were no fatalities, but several people were injured, including a pregnant woman who had to be airlifted to hospital. eNCA's Lethiwe Mdluli is joining us now this afternoon for the latest. Good afternoon, Lethiwe. Thanks for joining us. You are there not far from where the accident happened yesterday. Any update from the local authorities?
Well, Braden, as you correctly stated, the 23-year-old truck driver that was in this accident, we do understand that he's handed himself over to the police, and he did this last night after initially fleeing from the scene when the accident happened in the morning. And the police are telling us that currently they are having investigations, and they also want to find out what happened before the accident took place. You'd remember that yesterday around 49 cars were involved in that crash, and we do understand that the truck lost control and then it crashed onto unsuspecting motorists. Basically, we are still on the M41 as we speak, and as you can see, some of the damaged car parts are still on the road, and we have seen authorities trying to clean up the scene. And fortunately enough, no person died during this accident, and we do understand that a lot of people got injured, but there were no fatalities that were reported. And while speaking to the spokesperson for the police earlier on, Jay Naika, he did say that at the moment they do not know when this truck driver will appear in court, but they have charged him with reckless driving at the moment. And when they do have the report back on what would have caused this accident, they will then properly charge him and he will appear in court. But while I was talking to him a bit earlier on, this is what the spokesperson had to say.
Durban North Police have confirmed to me that the driver of the truck did arrive at the community service centre at about 10 o'clock last night. He then told the police officers that was on duty that he was the truck driver. He did arrive with his crew, who was travelling with him during the time of the accident. Detectives were then called out and they summarily arrested him. He's been detained on charges of reckless and negligent driving pending his court appearance.
Lethiwe, I mean, that's highway there. It's such a very busy one. It's an important one. I mean, running north and south there by the coastline, the M41. I wonder what the transport authorities have to say about this accident, because it was quite a big one, as you said, with so many vehicles involved on that very, very important route in Durban.
Well, but then basically the transport department is saying that even though this highway is quite busy, they are still investigating why the truck or that tipper truck was using this provincial road, because normally you'll find these kind of vehicles using the national road, whether it's the N3 or the N2. There is an alternative of using the N2, and unfortunately that truck was found on this road, and they are investigating those matters. They have spoken out about the reckless driving from truckers. As you recall, that a lot of residents around Durban have been raising these issues of having a lot of trucks on the road, which cause traffic and also accidents. Not so long ago, we went to the N3, and that's one of the roads that has been affected by a lot of accidents, and a lot of motorists are raising those concerns that the transport department has to look into getting the railway lines working again, because of the number of trucks that are using the road. It's unsafe, and right now they are using provincial roads, which is something that is a concern from the residents and also motorists from Durban. But while I spoke to the spokesperson, a bit earlier on, this is what he had to say about this accident.
Our view is that this is quite unfortunate and it should have not happened. In fact, it brought us on the observation that we've made for quite a long time that there seemed to be an untoward behavior from the side of truck drivers, and there's also an attitude on the truck owners who are refusing to adhere to traffic regulations. Their vehicles, at times, they are loading tons of loads, but they are not roadworthy, they are not being checked, and at times they are not even driven by competent drivers. So it is quite a serious issue, and we are not taking this lightly. The fact that you are talking about an accident where about 49 vehicles were impacted is quite huge, and looking at the damage and the impact, it is quite huge. Therefore, it's a matter that we are taking very seriously. We have, however, engaged with the police to say this matter needs to be investigated thoroughly, make sure that the driver who fled the scene is caught and face the music. But secondly, we also want to see cases against the truck owner, because should it be found that the truck had brake failures or any other defects, we'll want to see the truck owner as well taking responsibility. But beyond that, we are saying we know that this is a provincial road. It's not restricted to any mode of vehicles, but we discourage some tons of load to be transported in certain roads. So we will be investigating that matter moving forward to say, what was this truck doing here? Where was it coming from? Where was it going?
Okay, with that response from the Provincial Transport Department, we end that update from Lethiwe Mdluli. Still ahead.